Hello, what is going on, RapChat podcast listeners?
We should come up with a name for them.
Rap chatters? I don't know.
Rappers.
The rappers.
The rappers.
How's it going, rappers?
Working titles, working names.
Yeah.
Working names.
Yeah.
So, before we head into the podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, make sure to comment, and also subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating. And also, please leave us a review. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at RapChat Podcast, where we post new clips of the show every single week. I am your host, Luke Dick.
I'm Elias Eldridge.
And I'm Sam Kenny.
And we have a new format.
You can, if you're watching on YouTube, we're all clearly look different, you know.
Separate me from Elias.
Yeah, we're getting too heated.
We had to get some mediation in
Sam
between
and I are
here.
getting
Too many arguments.
Yeah, you guys must be cut it up, but like Sam and I punched you in the face a few times.
Sam
Sam bit my ear once, so that was a little too far. That's
like Mike Tyson.
It was after the podcast. We had a bit of a tussle after the podcast.
Podcasting Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
So now Luke's separating us.
I have to, man. I have to. Otherwise, it's going to get out of hand.
We're going to tussle later on, so. Our debate.
Tussle. We're going to tussle later on.
So, all right, let's go for schedule today. So, schedule today will be...
Talk about the Lakers game.
Talking about the Lakers game. Then we're going to...
Player of the week.
Player of the week. Then we're going to do a debate. And then we will look ahead. And I don't really think... Looking ahead shouldn't be too much, right? Or no,
game on Friday. Well, game yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And then the Lakers game again on Friday.
Is there a game on?
I don't think there's one on Saturday.
No.
And we'll record on Sunday.
Wait, there's a game on Friday?
Yeah, Lakers,
on your birthday?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, my birthday.
Damn, let's go. Are we gonna watch that?
Probably not.
Probably not. It's the Lakers.
Where? Like when is it?
8:30.
It's at 8:30. They're playing it earlier.
Yeah. Well, they're in Toronto.
Oh, right. They're in Toronto. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe we'll throw it on the TV.
Yeah, there's not a game till.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why not? I kind of want to.
It's also March Madness, though. I kind of we'll throw that.
I'd much rather.
I'd watch. Because we can rewatch the Raptors game.
I'd much rather watch March Madness than
me too.
that Lakers team.
So I'd love to watch March Madness.
Sixers on the Sunday.
What like how many March Madness games are there on Sunday?
Oh God, they do the whole first
30,
round.
30.
It's 32 games.
I mean, 16 games.
16, yeah. So they do the whole first.
Damn.
They do the whole first round on the 17th and 18th. So tomorrow and Friday.
Yeah, and the whole second round. The whole second round on.
So will there be games pretty late then when we?
Yeah, it'll go from like noon to midnight.
Let's go. We're gonna have so much fun. I didn't realize how much fun we were gonna have. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so I guess let's get right into it. So who had the Lakers game?
Elias
had the Lakers game.
Best game, the game of the year, I'd say. No, so. I personally have not watched all the Lakers this year. I don't know about you guys, but because they just suck. And Sam, how much Lakers have you watched?
I mean, compared to other teams that I watch, probably the Lakers. I've moved to the end of that just because I don't watch a lot of national TV games, just because I watch every game.
Yeah.
So there's no point. Like they make basketball not fun. Like,
I agree with that.
I'll watch what
The
80's
Lakers
playing.
suck, man. I hate watching the Lakers.
I don't watch a game to watch the Lakers. I watch the other team, and if they're playing the Lakers, they're playing the Lakers. Yeah. Because the Lakers are just so bad. But I've been watching for a little while. I didn't realize how bad.
Oh yeah,
dude, I'm glad.
I'm
glad they suck.
They were on a second.
I'm praying
night.
on their downfall. I'm praying on the Lakers'
downfall. They were on a
downfall.
second night of a back-to-back.
But on that first night, they played against Phoenix without Chris Paul.
And they got crushed.
They got let 140 points scored on them.
Yeah, it was 40-something points in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was 40 to 21 after the first quarter.
Yeah.
So we played the disgusting-looking Lakers team, and that is not an understatement. They looked horrible. Off the bat, we're up 9-0, and Scotty's getting every single thing that he wants down low, and it is really satisfying to see.
Dude, he scored the first 6 points of that game.
Yeah, he had 6 points right out of the gate.
15 in the first.
That was so satisfying, bro. And they were all tough buckets too.
When he made that 3,
dude.
Yeah. It looked good too, man. It looked really clean.
Did he scored like 8 of our first 12 or something?
Something like that. He scored a lot.
Him and
our first 12.
Him and Pascal combined for 22 in the first. 22 of our 33.
Yeah, he had 15 points in the first quarter, 7 for 8 from the field.
I was really hoping Scotty was going to try for a 30-point game, bro.
We did well. Okay, we talk about when we get to the fourth quarter, but they don't let Scotty ever get the ball in the second half.
I thought he did.
Not
He
much.
was passing out. I thought because the Lakers were doubling him later on.
Yeah, that's true.
I just don't think he had. I don't think he had a chance to go for it.
I just wanted
unless he
I feel like if he could have tried to though.
But there was I thought
they were putting more pressure on him because they had to because he had 15 points in the first quarter. There we go. Yeah, so there's not much to say about this first quarter other than that were scoring and they weren't. We were up 17-2 at one point really early. And we ended up outscoring them 33-12 in the first quarter.
Lakers over 13 from 3 to start it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if they ended up going over.
They don't even really
15.
have like any shooters. Who are their shooters?
Like
Wayne Ellington,
and Mello.
Malik Monk, Mello.
And
All streaky shooters.
yeah,
Russell Westbrook definitely is one.
I mean, LeBron's one of their best shooters. He's one of the most consistent shooters.
What's he shooting from 3 this year? 36.
Yeah, and I think
That's
Malik's close.
good.
I think Malik's close to 40.
He's 40,
this year.
yeah. He's
love
going to get a good contract.
come to the Raptors, man.
He's not coming back to the Lakers, I'll tell you
Go to
that.
the Raptors, man.
I think if I had to have one critique about this first quarter with something, I thought that Precious was doing a little too much on offense. And we talked about this a little bit during the game, but I feel like Precious doesn't really fit with the starters. But I know you guys kind of thought something different, so I want to hear what you think.
I disagree. I think he fits well with this starters. Like considering that OG's hurt and someone needs to replace the starters, I think he's the best fit out of. Because I think Boucher's role is off the bench, and I think he's pretty comfortable in that role.
But like, what if we put Thad Young as a starter?
I think his defense isn't good enough. And I like, even it's crazy to be saying this, but I like having Precious as a guy who can just go to the corner and you feel okay with this jumper. Even though Thad sometimes gets hot, I don't trust Thad at all. And I also think Precious.
I trust Thad right now.
Not corner threes.
No, he's been hitting a lot of corner threes.
He did at the
No,
beginning,
man.
but he hasn't hit him since. He hasn't hit him since.
And like
He
he's
hasn't
so
taken
new to
much
the team,
since.
man. Like I feel like
Yeah.
giving him that responsibility is like.
I think the defense is like massively different levels.
I'd low key rather have Chris in the
He's
corner.
shooting 47%
Oh, yeah.
from 3 since he came into the Raptors.
Okay, well, how
How
many
many
threes
attempts?
has he
Yeah.
shot?
1.3 a game.
Okay, so yeah,
That's good.
what's Precious shooting? Three a game, something like that. I just think Precious. You don't have to involve Precious in.
Personally
every
shooting 1.6.
Okay, I still trust Precious shooting a lot more.
Yeah,
than Thad's.
I do too.
And I think Precious. I think that
I'd rather him build that confidence too. Like I'd rather Precious have the ball and be able to make those early decisions because look, man, who's the future of the Raptors?
But I
Precious
think
Achua.
only Precious Achua.
Just Precious Achua.
No one else. Not even Scotty.
1v5 Precious Achua.
Yeah. I think like I love Precious. I think Precious has been awesome. But I just think maybe like next year's a start. I mean, he's not going to be a permanent starter when OG's back. I know that. But I'm just saying like right now, I feel like he's just a little. I think because he can't only be himself with the starters. You know what I mean?
I think himself though is being an insane defender, and I think his defense.
Well, defense, yes. I'm talking about offense.
Yeah, but I think offensively, like they're all going to be bad. Like Thad, him, and Cam are all going to look bad
That's
in the
true.
offense because they've all looked. And I think Precious is going to.
What about Boucher?
I would like Boucher. I think Boucher is the best out of all of them, but I
But
think
Chris, like
I
I don't
Chris is
know.
comfortable off the bench.
He is comfortable off the bench, but Chris needs to be surrounded with guys like Gary, scorers, man. Because
That's what
when
I'm
those
saying, why-
rebounds
that's
go
what-
flying,
That's
like
what I'm talking about scoring or just putting him as a starter instead of Precious.
Chris,
Yeah.
I'd still rather Precious' size.
yeah, the size. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like we need the size.
Yeah, if you're going against a guy like we saw Precious started against Jokic, right? You can't
and
do
like
that.
Precious is gonna go for those. Is gonna jump ball for us, right? So like, I would much rather have Precious jump ball for us than Thad Young. Like,
I think
I mean,
they just do
Scotty
Scotty.
usually
Yeah,
jumps
just do
ball.
Scotty,
well, yeah, we
yeah.
could do Scotty jump ball. There's actually a lot of guys we could do it for the jump ball.
I just think Precious is. No, I mean, none of them are ideal. Out of the least ideal options, I think he gives you the most of everything. Like they all have very overlapping skill sets.
Sure.
But he gives you the best defense, and I'm gonna say the most trustworthy corner three shooting. And he also gives you the ability to run. Too, right? You can't run the same way with Thad. And
The corner
Cam.
3 thing I think is up more for debate, but I do agree with everything else you're saying. But I still I don't I can't say I trust him more in the corner more than I trust Thad right now in the corner.
I do.
Yeah, I
I do.
definitely do.
I
I definitely do. Yeah, 100%.
I think they're both really hit or miss from the corner, to be honest. Anyway, I just want to get your guys' thoughts on that. So pretty much other than that, in the first quarter, the Lakers shot 12% in the first quarter.
This is
Wow.
wild,
They were
man.
3 for 25.
Good, man.
0 for 13 from 3.
That's
100%
what-
from
that's
the
when
free
you make
throw
an
line.
agent. That's what happens when you make an agent your general manager. You
Yeah.
put an awful roster together with a
Ima-
guy who knows nothing about basketball.
That's what happens when LeBron's your general manager. Imagine
It's so funny because
Having
so
a
many,
Lakers
like a lot of the
podcast.
guys they recruited originally aren't even on the team. Like DeAndre Jordan isn't even playing for the Lakers anymore.
And that dude
Rajon
shouldn't
Rondo,
be playing
another one.
basketball. DeAndre Jordan shouldn't be playing basketball in general.
I know, man.
half this team should be playing basketball
Yeah.
right now. I mean, okay, another thing. People love Austin Reeves, dude. He's not
not
that
good,
good.
bro.
He's not
He's
good
not
at all.
good, man.
People are like he's this other Alex
You know what
Caruso.
Austin Reeves gets? Austin Reeves gets the nerdy blogger white guy bump.
Yeah, and
That's
that's,
what
what I'm
Austin
saying.
Reeves
That's what I'm
gets.
saying. He's like Alex
'Cause you
Caruso
get-
2.0 is what they're
You
calling
get
him.
all these white bloggers, and I'm sorry, but a lot of white hustle players who get deemed that because they're white, they get bumped a lot more in the media by a lot of the white.
Especially when you
writers.
play with like LeBron.
Yes,
He's like
and
a
Austin,
meme. He's
and
a
Austin
meme.
Reeves is getting this bump, like, oh, look at this high IQ hustle player.
Yeah. Shut
What
up.
do you mean by that? Like,
He's not
he's not
good.
good. He's not good.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he's not good. So yeah, Austin Reeves. I liked him in college, but yeah, he's.
I'm glad you agree.
They made him out. They made him out to be like this, like rotation caliber player.
Yeah, it's like
No.
no.
He's not even close, man.
not at all.
He's trash.
He did not
His
he
defense
did not
isn't
make
good.
a noticeable or significant impact in that game at all.
That's the norm for him. But he made like one game winner, and he's like and that's like all he's done. And he's trash, dude. I'm just gonna pull up stats to prove my point extra right
I
now.
mean, he's young. How old is he?
22 maybe?
He's a rookie, but he was a senior. He went to Arkansas, or no, sorry, he went to Wichita State.
No,
and
Oklahoma State, yeah.
Both, yeah.
He's got room for improvement. Like he's growing and stuff still.
Can't
but like,
shoot. He just doesn't really do anything. Like he's just kind of there. Like he's
Yeah.
he's undrafted for a reason.
Yeah.
he's like a role player who's like a role play. Their role is to just like float, like just be there.
Just give us 10 minutes where our guys can rest.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Melo's done?
No. I think he's had a fine year. I think he's overextended in his role. I think he's being asked to
that's
do. I
facts.
think any
That's
other
true.
team.
That's very true.
I think any other team he looks. If he's like your eighth man, because he's doing kind of like exactly what's asked of him, like hit threes.
I didn't mind him on Portland, dude.
No, he
No,
was
I
fine.
liked him a lot in Portland.
I liked him.
It's just because Portland had no defense at all, so his
Yeah.
deficiencies, and this is the same
But
thing's
the
happening
Lakers
here.
had no defense.
So
What team would Mello look good on? I'm trying to think.
team like Boston,
I was
don't know,
gonna
with a ton of
say Boston
defense.
too,
or
to be
even
honest.
even him back in New York, low key.
They're so bad though. I just sell tickets maybe.
Like it has to be a really good defensive team. Like what if
I remember when you hyped up New York's defense so hard this year.
I also thought the Lakers were going to the finals. So
Yeah.
everything changed.
It just goes to show, man. Like we have to be realistic, man. We have to be realistic in our expectations of.
I think my expectations for the Lakers in the finals is realistic at the start of the year.
Fuck no, man.
Yeah, LeBron and they shut up, dude. Shut up.
I didn't see it at all.
I'm a Lakers hater, bro.
Okay, that's you being unrealistic.
Yeah,
If you're
that
gonna-
is.
Yeah,
I think the argument is that like they just didn't have any fucking. They had two good players.
that's how they won the championship. That one. Time.
No, they had actual role players and they won the championship.
Not really. Not much. different than
KCP, Kuzma, Caruso, Morris was good that year. Green was better.
that. Markieff Morris.
Bro, Markieff Morris gave them good minutes.
Okay,
that
but
year.
I thought like Trevor Ariza would be solid for them and stuff like that. Mello would be solid for them and all this. Anyway.
Yeah. I didn't see that. I guess
Yeah, like Phoenix would be good for Mello.
a team that just has defense and
Miami.
and needs him to play like 15 minutes a game.
Miami's
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
Dallas.
That's
Dallas.
true.
I don't think he's done though.
Dallas would be fun.
Yep. He's too good of a shooter for him to be. And he's totally bought into his
Ventral.
role. Yeah.
Yeah.
People made that out to be way bigger than I thought it had to be.
I mean, he also did say the bench.
Yeah.
So, all right. So
I don't blame him. You know.
First quarter, we blow them out 33-12. Second quarter, though, they do make a comeback. I can't say I didn't see this coming. It is LeBron.
He was so mad.
Oh my God, we'll get into that. Right off the bat, though, Scotty had an and one. It made me really happy. And Mello was trash. Mello was garbage this game. He
airballed twice or like.
He was 3 for 10.
I think it's something with the Lakers, the fact that Nick Nurse went with two separate times this game. He put lineups in that didn't have Scotty, Fred, or Pascal in.
Yeah.
Even though those lineups did really bad. Maybe that says more about how bad our bench is, but it's the same with the Lakers that he felt comfortable putting those lineups in.
Yeah, I think for the Lakers too, like they kept trying to make actual comebacks, but then like I feel like every time they got momentum, we just shut it down.
I never felt all that
So
worried.
Near the end, I thought they had a 2010 run, and I felt kind of worried. But no, they were coming back, and Fred had a big 3 in transition here in the second quarter, and that shut that down. Thaddeus had a really sexy lob to Precious in transition, and then we were back up 20. And we go into the half up by 18. Third quarter, not a ton happened. It was pretty much just back and forth offensively. Neither team's defense was awesome.
Yeah, there was no defense in the second half.
No, but this is where the big thing happened. LeBron James very, very aggressively throws the basketball off of Scottiebarnes.
Face, man, off his face.
Not my kink, fam.
It was a Boucher play too, where Chris was fouled like on trying to come down from like an offensive rebound.
No, that was different. That's when LeBron was smashing the ball.
But that's what I mean. Is LeBron was just mad, dude.
He was yelling at his teammates though. I don't blame him for that one with Boucher because like he's playing with awful teammates.
Yeah,
but like
this one was that's a rookie, man.
You gotta
and, and he wasn't even doing it to the ball. He was just pissed, so he just chucked the ball.
Honestly, like if you think about it though, as much as I'm not really like a LeBron fan like that, and I fucking hate the Lakers. I do give LeBron some leeway because you gotta put yourself in his position, right? He's on his like, he's past the peak of his career, right? Like he's like, I mean, in terms of
athleticism.
Well, yeah, athleticism.
He's not
right?
Miami LeBron anymore.
Exactly, 100%. And he just can't do it all. You know, he has to not try as hard on defense because if those lateral movements are tough on his body, dude. He's 37. Like you age like that.
That's how it works.
But at the end of the day, like I do understand because. Okay, although it might look bad in the moment that's what he did to Scotty, he's been dealing with this all season, bro. Like he knows he's one of the greatest basketball, if not the greatest basketball player ever, and he is really this is the first time he's really like ever played in his like adult career where the team has been extremely bad.
His first year was in Cleveland.
But he was good enough.
Yeah, but still,
they were expected to be bad.
Yeah, they were expected. Like this team has no hope. This Lakers team has no hope. They're
There's
not
no
going
hope for the
anywhere.
future.
That's what it's an existential thing for LeBron. I think he's just like, I think he's discouraged, man.
Well,
And
yeah, 'cause it's near the end of his career. Like
yeah, and like I think this emotion is building up over the season. I think that he's just frustrated in the moment. I think he looks at the Raptors and says like these guys are young. Like I'm fucking 37. I've been in this league. I beat you guys in the playoffs a million times. How am I losing to you guys? And Scottiebarnes is shooting a super weird like hook shot over me in the first fucking couple minutes of this game and cashes it. Like. You know what I mean? He has nothing to work with. He's the only scorer for that team. He didn't even do that well this game. He scored maybe just a bit over 20 points, like LeBron.
He gets his he had 27 maybe.
He
had 30.
Yeah, he got
really.
Yeah,
okay. but still, like even down the stretch though, in the third, I think it might have even been in the fourth quarter. Like he just broke like 20 points in the fourth quarter or something like that.
Yeah, he came on at the end, hit a bunch of threes at the end.
Exactly, and I'm just like, it's LeBron. Obviously, he's going to score that, but at the same time, like he didn't put up 50 against us.
He had 14 in the fourth, so it's out of that. He had 16 for most of the game.
Exactly, it's 16 for most of the game, and that's what I'm saying. Like he was just extremely frustrated, and I don't blame him, man. I really don't. At this
Still a
point.
dangerous play. You got to know better than that, though. Still.
Oh yeah,
like
that's true.
he's been around for so long.
Like he could have broke his nose.
Like if you're gonna throw it off him hard, throw it off his body.
Yeah, he literally was so close to hitting his face, and which would break his nose.
Yeah. That was a little bit like, what are you doing, man? Just I understand.
That was like
but that's the thing. I don't necessarily believe that he tried to do that on purpose.
He
looked.
He knew where he was throwing that ball.
He could have. LeBron James, one of the greatest passers of all time, could have aimed it at his chest.
Also, he could have passed that to someone else instead of throwing it out of bounds. He had a lot of time.
Yeah, he was up there for a while.
And he pushed Scotty too. Like
dude.
Not only that, but there was a play too. I think it was in the third quarter or something. He shoved Gary to the ground. Like, do you guys remember that? And he started like grabbing his crotch.
Gary. That's when LeBron kept pointing at his dick.
Yeah,
that was
dude,
weird.
he literally pushed him on the ground, and he starts freaking out at the refs. And I'm like, bro, you literally shoved a 6 foot like 5 or how tall is Gary? 6'5" or 6'4"?
Gary 6'4".
Yeah,
6'4", I think.
I thought 6'5".
$100.
Anyways, LeBron is 6'8".
6'5".
Yeah, LeBron is like 6'8". Like 230 pounds or something like
60?
that. 260 pounds, like pushing this guy to the ground. Like, come on, dude, that was whack. But you could just see his frustration.
I'm just gonna watch this down again really quick.
What is this?
Throwing the ball off Scotty.
Yeah, I think he pushes him and then he.
He could have passed to like Gabriel there,
that's
man.
Facts, that's facts.
Hey man, shout out
Look at these guys.
Look, he pushes him
That's
too,
an
bro.
easy pass, and then
that should have been a foul. That should have been a foul.
Yeah, the only Laker who tried last night, Wenyen Gabriel, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to Wenyen Gabriel.
He had a good game. He had 20.
Yeah, he took that weird ass 3 at the end of the game though.
Yeah.
Thought he was curvy.
Yeah, bro, he whipped it at him, bro.
Dude, I wish Scotty got pissed in him, man.
You can't though. It's
yeah, it's
I
LeBron.
know.
Yeah, it's LeBron.
But I wish he did. I wish he got in his face.
Raptors don't have a guy. Like the only Raptors guy who has the clout to do that is Thad Young, and he's not going to do that.
That's true. So. And at the end of the day, I think Scotty kind of.
The
way he reacted to that, I feel like Scotty was kind of just like, dude, I made LeBron mad.
And in his post game, he said he was like, all he was trying to think about was protecting his face.
Yeah.
And he was like, damn, like, he was kind of shook.
He said he saw it coming.
Yeah.
Like, he said like.
Damn.
LeBron's a dick, confirmed. I don't understand LeBron. This also.
He's
LeBron's
hurt, bro.
LeBron. Little rude boy. He's so pissed that game. And then the next day, Kyrie drops 60, and he's all over Twitter like, "Go Kai, you're so good."
I mean, that's his job though. He's pissed out his job, and he goes home and he can, he just enjoys himself.
Yeah, LeBron's is weird, man. Also, LeBron posts too many emojis on his Instagram captions. It's annoying.
Yeah, sometimes you forget, like he's like, this guy's like 38 or whatever, like 37. He's like,
how it works.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to use social media.
He's like King James taking off, and it's like a video of his own dunk, and it's like 5 rocket emojis and the smoke out of the nose emoji and all this shit. I'm like, dude,
man. Yeah,
grow up.
he's a yeah.
No, okay. Yeah, so fourth quarter, the Lakers did come back quite a bit. They had a 2010 run. I got a little scared. LeBron had a transition dunk, and it was like an average dunk, but everybody went crazy, so I felt like they had a lot of momentum. That's how LeBron dunks go. Pascal had a great defensive possession on LeBron that forced a turnover. I think LeBron put it out of bounds because Pascal's defensive player of the year. And that's, for the most part, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
There's not much else to say about this. The Lakers suck. And,
I mean, I wish I
A bunch of free throws down the stretch.
As much as I love beating the Lakers, and as much as I just can't stand LeBron and that team, I was pissed that we didn't close out very well. We didn't close out this game very well, man. We let them. Our defense wasn't very good.
It was pretty bad.
We couldn't get
all
anything
game,
going on offense in that fourth quarter. I was just disappointed. I was like,
even in the first quarter, like they were over 15 from 3 or over 13, whatever. But they were all wide open shots.
Yeah.
Like it was them missing shots.
I think the Lakers
our defense was
bad play really I thought Scotty and Pascal had good games, and I thought Gary had a really good finish this game. Fred though, I think Fred's still hurt.
Yeah,
I think Fred's he can't get around anyone. He couldn't get around Malik Monk.
No.
You should
And Malik Monk's not a good defender.
No.
And we don't have Malachi back either.
No, and I just think Fred is like I wouldn't be
40
surprised.
minutes.
I wouldn't be surprised that there's a notification this offseason that Fred's getting knee surgery. It wouldn't shock me at all. Actually, I would be shocked if it actually didn't happen at this point. I think this is totally
I think
going to that. Where
what is it? A contusion or something?
No, it's
like,
just knee soreness, and that usually
it's
means
just like lingering.
there's probably something rattling around in there.
Like with Pascal in the offseason, Pascal didn't have anything major, but he got a surgery because there's something lingering. Shoulder, yeah.
Usually, so I bet Fred's gonna play through the rest of the year, and he's gonna be on and off. And I just don't think to expect anywhere near All-Star Fred.
Yeah, that's tough because he's a big part of our defense. Like especially a game tonight against the Clippers, our defense has to be really good.
We've got no.
That's a team.
Yeah.
That's a deep team. Everybody can shoot in that team. We got
Everyone can driving kick offense.
That's gonna be a stressful.
Is Fred gonna be playing tonight?
Game.
He's questionable, and Gary's questionable as well. He's sick. And OG's been upgraded to doubtful. So
Damn.
He's doubtful. Let's go. That's fine.
I don't know what the point of making guys listed as doubtful even does because they
means
never
they're
actually
not
play
playing.
anyway. He
No,
means
it
out.
means even questionable means they're not playing usually. Like Fred's probably not going to play.
It's sad though because I hate having to take the L on some of these games, man.
I mean, you still got.
I'm
Scotty and Pascal are good enough to carry.
100%. But at the end of the day, it's like,
where's your confidence in our team, man?
no. At the end of the
Get
day,
off the podcast.
I don't want
I'm pissed.
to sacrifice, some of our star players and have them try to carry this giant load on them.
That's true.
When
It makes them more tired.
Exactly. When it's just like
that's the downfall of our team is that if we don't have all 5 of those guys that are like actually like full on NBA players at this point, then we're screwed.
Exactly. And like I love Delano, man, but it's just like
not an NBA player.
Like like
what a random one to bring up.
He's great on the defensive end, but on the on the offensive end, like he can't do anything.
No one guards him.
Yeah, there's no one. There's no like he doesn't even take an elbow jumper, bro. And I'm like, come on.
I don't even want him taking that.
I don't know. I'd rather get something going. It's like, would you rather no scoring at all or Chris Boucher?
I'd rather see UW.
If he's taking a wide open elbow jumper,
sure.
If he can get the space for himself, go for it.
But he really can't. He doesn't have a handle like that either.
He's not very athletic, right? He's fast, but he's not explosive.
It's kind of ugly, eh?
How?
The slander from these two.
No, Delano, I'm joking. You're really,
I just think
the
rest of the year, I think this is Fred's going to be a much more secondary role, and concerning on ball
off like this,
concerning on ball at least. Like I think on ball is going to be like what we've seen. It's going to be Pascal and Scotty.
Yeah.
And when OG's back, I think he's going to get a lot of on ball reps. And Fred's going to be more off ball.
I think either Fred or Gary will play. I think if Gary's not playing, Fred will play, and I think vice versa.
Well, Gary's just sick.
Yeah. So I think Fred might play then.
Tonight you mean?
Yeah, I think one of them's gonna play.
I just don't want to risk it, man.
Maybe sick. Like,
what?
What?
We're just saying you do want them to play.
I don't want Fred to play.
Oh, Fred, yeah.
Yeah. I think Gary will probably play. If you're sick, he'll probably play.
Flu game. Fred, Gary.
It's so
flu
funny.
game coming
Also,
up.
actually, I think it's worth mentioning this game too. Gary scored a what? Quiet 28 points. Yeah, like that. I don't remember.
He had 15 in the third quarter.
Yeah, exactly. Like he.
While you guys were talking shit
We'll
about
get
him.
into
not-
You were talking some shit about.
No,
Gary.
I was
No,
not.
he
What'd I
wasn't. He
say?
wasn't. He
A
wasn't.
little bit, yeah.
He wasn't. What was he saying?
What'd I say?
I don't think
weren't
he
you
was.
saying,
I was. It was all me, man.
Oh, Sam was, but then I said something about you were saying like, his mid rangers aren't really like you were saying something.
I think he disagreed with me that I said I like him to take more threes or something like that. And he disagreed with me on that.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, I'm the main chick talker, and I'm gonna talk some more shit.
I
later on.
was a little bit critical because some of the shots weren't going in, but and
I was telling you guys, this is Gary. Gary's not gonna make every shot.
and that's fair enough because actually he
And
did
that's gonna
play
be my
very well.
argument, later on
He
tonight.
did play very well this game, despite sometimes it just not looking like it.
He doesn't have a very aesthetically pleasing game.
No,
he's not very
that's
smooth.
really
right?
tough shots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's
very
either hitting them or he's
herky-jerky
not.
and
Yeah,
And
true.
that's where I'm just at with Gary is like he's either gonna make them or he's not, and I'm not gonna be mad either way because it's how it goes. Actually, really mad if he makes them, but
I just think that the amount of reps that he's getting in game this early in his career is just gonna be so beneficial for him.
that's
later
another thing. He's
on.
only 23.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's the most 23-year-olds like this don't get reps like this as that designated shooter on a team. Like they literally want him to, rip open a package of instant offense, like, and just mix that shit up. Like that's what they want, right? And to have that role put on you when you're 23 years old in the NBA where you're playing against dudes like LeBron James, that's a daunting task to ask. But at the end of the day, even the Lakers announcers, because again, I watched the stream from the other, commentators. They were complimenting Gary all game. And
I think we're so used to what Gary does now is that we're all way more critical.
Oh, yeah.
The teams that don't know about him, they're like, oh my god,
because
wow,
we've
he's so good.
seen his progression and we know where he can be
Yeah,
and seen his
we're seeing
heights.
where he is now. It's
Exactly.
frustrating. His
Well,
defense especially.
not now. I wouldn't say now.
His defense right now.
That's again.
Horrible.
We've had this conversation.
Oh, we're gonna have it later on too.
about his
We're gonna
defense,
have it.
but that's-
We're gonna have the conversation about his defense. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But that's the thing is I don't criticize him on that aspect of his game. I really
On the
don't.
defense?
I can't.
You should.
Why not?
I can't because he's I hate reiterating this. He's literally 23 years old. He's never had a prominent role in his NBA
good OG
career.
was
He's
at
like
23?
Scotty's
but at the
Scotty's
same time,
20 and he's gotten better on
that's
defense over the
that's
year.
not his role though, man.
What do you mean?
That's
Well,
not his role.
yeah, it is.
I think it's
No,
more of a role
everyone
than
on the
Gary's
Raptors
is.
Everyone on the Raptors has to
I think
be
Scotty's
defender.
defense. Scotty gets tasked with more tough defensive.
Yes. No,
tasks.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. Listen, I'm saying that Gary is doing fine for his athletic ability and his what he's being asked to do. He's not necessarily being asked to be this crazy defensive player. When we were okay with him last year not being the greatest defender on the team.
I wasn't okay with it.
The Raptors clearly were. They made that bet
I
on
know,
him.
yeah.
They made that bet
well,
on
let's
him.
also have this conversation now. Let's have it
Okay.
later on because I'm gonna get into that. But yeah, that's all I've got from this one.
Yeah, final. Also, Dwight Howard shooting 66.7% from three this season.
What?
Dwight Howard shooting 66.
On how many attempts?
I think it's probably 2 for 3.
Oh,
That's my
wow.
guess.
2 half-court shots.
I don't know, probably 2 for 3.
Did he even play? Did he?
Nah, he's out right now. Final stats. Gary Trent Jr. 28 points, 5 boards, 3 assists. Scottiebarnes 21 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Pascal Siakam, his 7th straight 20-point game. First time he's done that in his career. 27 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists.
Nice.
And
Such a
Precious,
good
Precious
stat
10
line.
11. Boucher 13 and 8. Daddy 2 10 2 and 2 steals and 1 block.
I thought that.
That always has something in every little stat line.
Yeah. I thought that was showing the legs was a little old in this one.
Yeah,
they were going up and down.
Yeah.
That was.
He was slow.
Yeah.
He was slow.
He was-
I think a game like this, you're happy you have guys like Precious and Chris because Thad and Kem were struggling getting up and down in this
Yeah, that's very true.
Fresh.
one.
All right, so we're moving on to play of the week.
Oh, actually, one more thing I want to say that is That's all my
Okay,
notes
moving
here.
on to player of the week.
No, one more thing I want to say actually. LeBron elbowed Pascal in the face, and Pascal got fouled.
Dude.
Bro. No one. I don't know what
Lower
There were
tire,
some bad
please.
calls
Pascal
in this
gets.
game,
I don't know
too.
what if he doesn't like sell it hard enough, but Pascal gets like called.
He's
Like when he's on defense,
so much. Yeah.
he gets like
So many bullshit calls.
I don't like he's not like a
more than
skinny
anybody.
dude.
More than
right?
anybody. Like Tatum doesn't get those type of
Yeah,
calls.
is it because like he's a bigger dude and people like think he shouldn't? Like I don't know. Like Pascal gets like I feel like he never gets the offensive foul call against.
No,
like,
and LeBron
when
just
he's
gets,
guarding a guy.
and LeBron gets every benefit of the doubt ever. It's so annoying.
Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty annoying.
I just want to say that
Yeah.
because that bothered me.
Player
Okay.
of the week.
POT dubs.
My player of the week is Scottiebarnes. We went.
Good job, Scotty.
We went deep in. I mean, we went really deep into Scottiebarnes.
They called him that on the Lakers. They called him that on the
Scott?
Lakers.
Scott
Yeah,
Barnes
they
Jr.?
call him
Scott
Scott.
Barnes?
They call him Scott, and I was like, ugh, cringe.
Scott
I
Barnes
call him
Jr.
Scott sometimes.
Yeah,
Scott
but
Barnes.
you call him that like in
Ironically.
an ironic way.
Yeah,
like you don't
actually.
call him that like.
Yeah, I wanted to go, hey Scott.
Yeah. Like that's a weird.
Yeah.
Like
That's
Scott
his name.
Wayne Barnes.
you gotta
Jr.
change your name, Scotty. You gotta
Yeah,
change
dude,
it
for
to
real.
Scotty, bro. Like what is Scott? Is that even a name? I don't think is that even a name?
Yeah, it's
like
his name. Yeah, Scott's his name.
no, a name.
Yeah,
Is that
I
even a name?
I think
Like-
Scotty came after Scott.
Yeah, for his
Scotty's
birth
a name.
name.
It
His
did.
birth name is
Yeah,
Scott.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like he's not some white police officer.
But
Like,
his name is
you know
Scott.
what I'm saying?
His name is
Literally
Scott.
white police officer in my town named Scott.
That's what I'm saying.
Is it-
Did we
wait.
have this guy? I think we might have
Yeah,
had
they
this
Is
got
guy.
Scotty's
yeah.
actual name Scott or Scotty?
Scott.
Is it
Scott
Scott?
Wayne Barnes Jr.
Yeah.
Okay, so his nickname's Scotty.
I just call him Scooter. I think it's a funny name.
You're the only one who calls him that.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I know. 'Cause I
Um,
like the original.
Scottiebarnes, man, he had a monster week. He looked
Scooter
so
Barnes.
Oh, yeah.
confident.
Rookie of the year. Rookie of the year caliber playing
Yes,
right now.
Rookie of the Year caliber playing
Caliber.
for sure.
If he wasn't in the same draft class as some other future superstars, he would get it.
yeah.
But he is a future superstar.
He is.
though.
I'm
Oh,
saying-
I know.
I'm saying
I'm
Undeniable.
saying other
ones. I'm
future
saying other
superstars.
superstars.
Once he gets that
Among-
3-point
among
shooting
him.
going, bro, oh my god.
Woo, game over.
He's going to be ridiculous.
Scotty though against some good competition, right? Takes it to LeBron. He took it to Jokic. Against Pirtle and the Spurs. Against Ayton and the Suns.
He is not afraid, bro. He's not afraid.
To take a stand.
Yeah, and before that against Mobley
Great
against
song.
against
I don't know the
Cleveland,
next lyric.
he was hooping, man. He's
What did you say?
I said even before this week against Cleveland, he was really hooping against Mobley.
Oh, they said he was Superman.
Oh, he's playing like Superman.
Yeah.
He's showing everything too. He's showing the scoring, like in the post,
passing,
the
the
passing,
playmaking.
the defense is by far the best it's been all year.
Mm-hmm.
3-point shooting has been solid too. the
Dude,
past few games.
he's made some crazy blocks on Gabriel, bro. He had like two back-to-back blocks on him, bro.
Yep.
Gabriel went up for a dunk. He blocked it. Then he went up again and swatted it out of bounds. I was like, sheesh.
Yeah, man, he's
They're really making these Laker fans depressed.
he's looking like this is the best he's looked all year, obviously,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he
yeah.
looks so like he looks so like he looked tired before the All-Star break, and he looks like he's gotten
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think he hit his rookie wall at the right time because it was
Yeah.
like he had 2 games like that before the All-Star break, and he got to rejuvenate.
Yeah.
He is almost at 1,000 career points.
Wow, good for him.
Scotty?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Good for him.
That's so crazy.
Especially
because like
Sam's so condescending. Oh, good for him. Yeah, good for him.
well, especially because he doesn't really take threes like that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's all just
Yeah.
going down to the post. Loki gets to the line a decent amount.
He does, yeah. You know who got to the line though in the Lakers game a lot? That was Gary.
Yeah.
Gary, that's definitely where he got a lot of. How many times did he go to the free throw
13
line?
times.
13 times.
11 for 13.
That's unbelievable. Yeah. See, like that's 11.
See, he's good.
That's 11 points rate though. That's like
Yeah.
what, half or just a bit under half of his, or I guess just under half of his points from the free throw line, and he's an amazing free throw shooter. I don't really think his free throw percentage is actually accurate of how good of a free throw shooter he is now. I think in the second half of the season he's been a totally different free throw shooter than he was in the beginning of the season.
Because he's actually getting there now.
Yeah, well he's getting there and
He's making it start of the year.
he's really knocking him down.
He's only shooting like 2 or 3.
Yeah, he's at
start of
he's
the year.
about 83 and a half for the season now.
And I love when he gets to the free throw line because, like, he makes all of his free throws, and then you hope that gives him some juice for when he's actually shooting field goals and
Yeah,
stuff
because
like
especially when he's not shooting well, seeing the ball go in the basket, even from free
Yes,
throw is a
yes.
big difference maker.
100%.
You
And he
guys,
works on his like form too. You know what I'm saying? Like he gets a chance to like, okay, make small adjustments where he feels he needs to relax himself and get the ball in the hoop.
Let's talk about the rookie of the year thing for a second.
do you guys all have Scotty as well, or?
I thought you were gonna say Pascal, to be honest.
Oh.
So I was gonna give it to Scotty.
Also,
to Scotty.
Pascal a great. I give it to Pascal all the time, and
Yeah, I
Pascal's been
know.
awesome.
What? Rookie of the year?
No, player of the week.
No.
I feel
player
like,
of the
I
week,
feel like I give it to
yeah.
Pascal all the time, player of the week, and
Yeah.
he's been like
But
He's
I think this week especially though has been
He was awesome this week.
extra spicy.
I mean, you just said his streak at 20 plus, and his defense last night was great.
Oh
He's
my God,
our best
always.
defender. He's our best offensive player.
Guard LeBron.
He's
I
our
probably
MVP.
would have given it to Scotty though.
Yeah.
Just because we're just starting to see that next level improvement.
It's a big statement week.
Yeah,
for him.
it is, and I feel like he deserves it, man. And I think ever since the All-Star break, he's come back with a certain level of confidence. That's like, if there's anyone who's gonna do it, it's gonna be me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I bet on yourself. And I think there's a lot of guys on the Raptors who really like reinforce that style of thinking and that
Fred
way.
VanVleet.
That's what I'm
What he
saying.
brands himself off of.
Exactly. And I think, and not only that too, but Pascal and
Fred and Norm Powell just did a collab, and because Norm's thing is understand the grind, and Fred's is bet on yourself. So now they did like collaboration with like clothes.
bet on the grind.
That's what it is.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Bet on the grind.
It's kind of sick though. I kind of want to get a shirt.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Might get a shirt. A T-shirt.
But yeah, like I think just the Raptors are such a perfect place for Scotty, man, because he's surrounded by all these guys where it's like, dude, we literally came from nothing, and look at how good we are now. Like, you are coming into this league like showing dominance, and the only way you will get worse is if you stop showing aggression, is if you take a back seat. If you do what Pascal is like, dude, there were so many amazing plays Pascal had during this game that just reinforced in my mind that nobody can guard him, bro. Like, he had so many Euro steps, man, that are just like, he's got that, and even the Lakers announcer said this too, he's got that unorthodox way of moving. He's so lanky, and his body's shape is so weird that he can just like, spin on people, or just totally shift his body weight to the other side of his body, and then give a
great balance.
a nice little float layup into the basket. It was just beautiful, man. So many of those plays.
This whole win streak has been Pascal and Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
It's been those two, and guys filling in from there. But those two have been the two constants that have just been carrying us.
Yeah. There's an expert said before the draft.
Are you calling yourself an expert?
That he predicted that the Toronto Raptors would take.
I'm
the
literally
do,
looking at
take
that.
the do it
I'm
all.
literally looking at Elias's LinkedIn page.
Some experts said that the Raptors would take Toronto would take the do-it-all defensive monster in Scottiebarnes. Barnes could play and defend 1 through 5, exactly fits how the Raptors want to play.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You got
pretty sure Chad
you got
Ford
the
said
6th
that.
and 7th wrong though. Those are the only ones really there that I noticed. You got the top 4 right.
I think I said Mobley to the Rockets also. Like, I think I got that wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Rocks are dumb.
Well, I didn't predict. I did a mock draft based off what I think they should do. Not what I think would happen.
Mobley on the Cavs though is a beast.
You said you wanted to get into the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I want to know how realistic do you guys think it is for Scotty to be Rookie of the Year? Luke, I'm gonna start with Luke's thoughts.
That's tough. And
Based on what we think or what we think will happen.
What you think? Well, not what you think will happen. What do you think? What do you think?
What do you mean by what I think? Like,
Would
do
you
think
pick
he should be Rookie of the Year?
that is such a difficult question to answer, and I think that just goes to show like how amazing the draft class is this year. Would I like for Scottiebarnes to win Rookie of the Year? Yes, because I think that he offers. Okay, aside from the shooting, because obviously Cade is a much better shooter than Scotty is. But I think in a lot of ways, Scotty combines the best of Cade with the best of Evan. You know what I mean? Like,
he's both players in one.
He's both. He's both of them. You know what I mean? Like, he's got the playmaking and the intelligence, of Cade, and the guard skills of Cade, and he's got these post moves of Evans. And not that I don't think that Evan has playmaking skills and stuff like that. Like, he's a good playmaking big man, but
Scotty is better.
Scotty is better, and that's the thing. But that, and I can't be too critical because Evan's not really being asked to do that. That's not his role.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I just think Scotty is I think out of the top 3, Cade, Evan, and Scotty's the most dynamic. He's the most versatile. You can put him at the most positions and have the most success. Simply because just his body type. What he can do on the court. Like, Cade can't really post up like that.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Scotty can post up, bro. He was shot over LeBron. Even though it was an ugly shot and it really shouldn't have gone in.
Hey,
Like,
it looked good.
He did it.
It switched nicely.
yeah. But at the same time, like Scotty's taking Jokic down low. Cade can't do that. You know what I mean?
Let me lay out some stats for you guys. Just general stats for the season. Cade Cunningham is averaging 16.9 points,
Good.
5.9 rebounds, 5.3 assists per game. Evan
I think it
Mobley-
should be higher. I don't really think those numbers really represent.
No, because
he
the
had a bad
start of the
start.
season was bad.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley is averaging 15.1 points, 8.3 rebounds, 2.3 assists. Scotty 15.3 points, 7.6 rebounds, 3.4.
See, it's right in between. You know what I'm saying? Like he's right in between Cade and Evan, right?
Yep.
He's not as high.
You definitely like that's really accurate statement. Cade's 5.3 assists, Mobley's 2.6, and Scotty's right in the middle, 3.4.
Exactly.
I think this is a rookie. I guess my opinion is I would have Evan number 1 just because I think his defensive impact is is almost like you can't quantify that. And I think that leads to so much. Not that I do think if I were like rank their futures, I'd probably go Cade, Scotty, Evan.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to rank rookie of the year, I'd probably go Evan. Probably go Evan, Scotty, Cade, even though that one's really close for me. Those two.
That's why I just put Scotty first, man. That's
I just think Evan's like. I just think back to like Evan Mobley, like. Literally day 1, he was an impact NBA defender, which is probably the hardest skill for a rookie.
Yes.
Rookies,
A rookie big man at that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would also argue that Cade Cunningham's been a more consistent defender than Scotty this season as well. I think Cade's been really good on that end. Even though Scotty's got a higher ceiling in that end, but I just think what Evan Mobley doesn't look as flashy as Scottiebarnes does, but like last night against the Clippers, he had this massive defensive sequence just defending the rim in overtime.
His defensive intelligence is like top.
It's
tier.
unreal. It's
and
unreal.
that matched his length and everything. He's a 7-foot winger essentially, and his offense is only going to get
the only
better,
reason Cleveland can play 3 7-footers, 2 of them being with meh mobility. Allen's fine. Markkanen's fine.
not.
He's like, he's fine. Like,
he's
not
kinda
great.
slow.
But
He's
the reason it works though is because of Evan Mobley.
Evan Mobley, yeah. If Evan Mobley wasn't who he was, they couldn't do Kevin Love, Larry Markkinen, Jared Allen.
Like think of a guy like Jaren Jackson Jr., who's considered like this awesome defensive prospect coming in.
Mm-hmm.
This is his first really good year defensively,
Yeah.
and he's probably on the similar level of Mobley right now. But Mobley's doing this literally from like his first game. I just think that's so. I mean, it's all very close, but I think just the full season, I think I have to go with Evan.
Yeah, I think it's really easy to say Scottiebarnes when you're a Raptors fan also.
Well, yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're just looking at stats, because you really do have to watch Evan Mobley to see how good he really is. You can see the highlights and you see the stats.
I gotta say,
he's good, but
watching the Cavs this year, like when I do tune into NBA games that aren't the Raptors games, because again, I'm more of a Raptors fan than I am like a larger NBA fan. I very much enjoy watching the Cleveland play.
Super fun team.
Cleveland is a very fun team to watch. It's very similar to like watching the Raptors. It's the same sort of feeling I get when I watch the Bucks. Like I very much enjoy watching them play.
They've got young Tim Duncan and young Steve Nash.
What?
Young Steve Nash.
Yeah, they have the next Steve Nash and the next Tim Duncan
On the
Cavs.
On the Cavs.
Yeah.
Oh. So you're saying
I think
Evan?
Hey man, Garland's better than Steve Nash was at his age.
What do you think Scotty's ceiling is?
Top 10 NBA player.
Yeah, totally.
Somewhere within that. I don't know where,
Yeah.
but somewhere. I think honestly, I think that for all 3 of them.
I think that, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I think the exact same thing for all.
I
three.
think Cade Cunningham could be. I think Cade, well, maybe not the best player in the NBA. I think Cade, maybe I have them slightly higher, but like those are
I think
top 10.
I think Barnes can be an MVP.
He could be.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah.
Definitely.
I think he has all the tools.
Yeah.
And he's already getting better so rapidly.
sure.
I think Mobley could be an MVP candidate and a defensive player of the year. I think he's definitely getting defensive player
I
of the
think
year.
the only way Scotty is ever going to win like any sort of award or accolade in the NBA is if he stays with the Raptors.
Here, that's Scotty, so you got to stay. You better
so
stay.
stay
Yeah, so
now.
stay. We're telling you.
Isn't it
you're
wild?
going to
I'm
suck
telling you,
anywhere
I'm
else.
preying on the downfall of your career if you don't stay with us.
Isn't it wild to think in a draft class?
I'm just kidding.
We're
I'm
talking
just
about a draft class that realistically could have 3 top 10 players, and I could
So
also throw
crazy.
like
That's
7
really- so-
future All Stars
and
on top of that.
Josh Giddey could totally be a top 10 NBA.
I disagree, but I think
Really?
I think he'd be good.
Top 15.
I think
he'd be like top 30.
I'm not. I think my thing with
I don't know if I see
Giddey,
Giddey as an
I
all-star
think
yet.
Giddey. I think Giddey's too slow.
Yeah,
to-
I could see.
I do like
We'll
Giddey
see.
a lot.
I could
We'll
see
see.
Josh sneaking into an All-Star game here or there, but
Yeah, me
I
too.
see more like I was
But-
like Jalen Green, I still think Jalen Suggs
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be all
Yeah,
All-Star.
Jalen
I think
Suggs,
I think Jalen Suggs All Star.
Yeah, I think Franz Wagner can be an All-Star.
Franz Wagner, I'm lower on than most people. To be honest,
I'm trying to think.
I just pulled the draft up right now.
Like those. I mean,
Maybe we should move on
Yeah.
because this is like
Okay,
we're
sure.
getting a little bit off
yeah.
topic.
Are we getting
This is
into
fun,
our debate?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I always forget how we format these.
You want to introduce?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. So,
Let me get these numbers up.
we are doing a debate here next on. Okay, hold on. Let me wait till I get my timer out so I can actually like. All right. So was it 2 minutes?
We do
Let's do 2 minutes. Yeah.
2 minute intro to our argument,
1 minute rebuttal.
1 minute rebuttal, and 1 minute closing statement.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're doing a little bit of it. We're doing a debate today, and this debate will be centered around the contentious presumption or assumption or statement that Gary Trent Jr. Will Gary Trent Jr. be part of the Raptors' future? And will Gary Trent Jr. be someone that we can expect down the line to be with the Raptors for a significant portion of his career? So Sam has some objections to that. He does not think Gary will be a significant part of the Raptors' future, and Elias will be taking the side that Gary will be part of the future for the Raptors. So we are going to do 2 minute introduction statements, saying our argument, 1 minute rebuttals.
I think they call it opening statements.
Yeah. And then 1 minute closing statements.
Hey, good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
All right, gentlemen.
Or you want to go first?
I think I can go first.
Okay.
'Cause you're objecting.
Okay,
So, yeah.
sure.
All right. Okay. So Elias will go first, and we will start. 3, 2, 1, fight.
Okay, when you think of the future of your team, you're looking at the young players on the team. I ask you, how old is Gary Trent Jr.? You can't answer that, but it's because it's not your turn. But he's 23 years old, freshly 23 years old. Right now, he is putting up numbers that I'm pulling up on my screen as we speak. He's averaging 18.3 points per game as a 23-year-old on a very efficient shooting, 38% from three, 83% from the free throw line. Got Luke freaking out over here. At 23 years old, you look at guys like Chris Duarte, who come into the league right now. He's 23 years old. He's averaging like 13 a game this year. People are like, wow, what a great pick by the Pacers. What a future. Gary is that already, and he's already better. And we as in Sam,
He deserves way more respect.
not put enough respect on Gary's name, man. And I know you're gonna talk about his defense, and I'm here to say I agree wholeheartedly that his defense is not as good as it was at the start of the season. Do I think that's a permanent thing? No, I think that can be adjusted over the summer. I mean, he's a young guy. We didn't think his defense would switch at all. We thought he was gonna be a bad defender. He's right now
For his career.
Yeah, for right now, yes, he is a bad defender at this very moment. I would call him a bad defender right now in his past like month or two. But at the start of the season, his defense was impeccable. We were talking about all defensive team for Gary Trent Jr. And we know that's a season. We know he can do that. I don't see why we can't get him back to doing that. We have a whole summer to figure that out. Also with his defense, with OG being out and then like guys like Fred was out, Gary's being asked to do a lot more on the defensive end that I don't think he was ready for. Because at the start of the year, we saw him doing so good defensively because he was our fourth option on defense. So he wasn't given a ton of responsibility, which is him like easing into the whole thing. And then really quickly, we have two guys out. He's being asked to be the second best defender, the third best defender, guarding one of the best players on the team. I think he wasn't ready for that. And I think over time, when he ages, he will become better and mature at that.
Wow. All right, nice. As you can see, of course, we've talked about this. I'm the resident Gary Trent
Had
Jr.
Luke's
stan.
ad-libs.
So,
Wow.
This is like
Really?
this is like a one.
Wow.
This is like a 1v2 right now.
no, I'm going to try my best to take the criticism and try my hardest when I hear it not to punch my pillow tonight, okay?
I do want to say I am relatively impartial to this subject. I think if we keep Gary, I'm happy. If we trade Gary, I'm happy. But I'm
not happy if we trade Gary. I'm upset.
I'm just arguing for this side of it
All right.
because Sam's too immature to. I'm joking. I'm joking.
All right, so 2 minutes for Sam. 3, 2, 1, fight.
I'm on the side that Gary Trent Jr. will not be part of the future core of the Raptors, and I've got two main reasons why. Number one is I don't see him as the caliber of elite young player compared to other shooting guards of his ilk that you would consider core players. First of all, I don't agree that he's all that efficient. He's actually 2 points below league average in true shooting percentage. He's shooting his 3-point percentage is good. He's shooting about 38% from three on 8 attempts. I also am worried about what level of improvement he has. He has, whether he works hard or not, he is simply 6'5", not all that strong and not athletic, which you can't really change at all. He's not explosive. He's got a bad handle for his position. And also, I think the defense is a real concern. With a guy like Fred, who's going to age as a small guard, we've already seen how injuries have hurt his defense on that end. I don't want a defensive liability next to him. I think his defense at the start of the year got overplayed a little bit. I think the foul rules have changed, and that's changed his defensive ability. I think he gets lost off ball more than anyone on the team. He's almost oblivious on that end. I really don't know what he's doing. Offensively, I think his skill set really relies on shooting luck. I think he takes a ton of tough shots that he doesn't get any separation at all on, and that's why you see them either swish or sometimes like airball or clunk off the backboard. And it's a lot of deep twos, which are very inefficient shots that he hasn't shot necessarily efficiently this year. Just to compare him to other shooting guards at their age 23 seasons, Bradley Beal averaged 23 a game on 48% shooting. Donovan Mitchell, 24 a game on 45%. Zach LaVine, 23 on 47%. And Devin Booker, almost 27 on 49%. These are all at the same age that Gary Trent Jr. is now. And if I want to consider a core piece, I would consider Gary Trent more closely to a guy like Jordan Clarkson, who at his age 23 season averaged 15.5 points, but was slightly more efficient than Gary. And I think that's kind of more the type of the player that Gary Trent Jr. is.
And that's the end. Oh man, Sam, I had a thought. I've got some thoughts on my fucking mind, but I can't say them because it's not my turn to speak. Anyways, I'll let Elias rebuttal here.
I have 1 minute to rebuttal.
1 minute to rebuttal. 3, 2, 1, fight.
Okay, you brought up his true shooting percentage. I think that is something that can definitely be improved. He in Portland, he didn't start actually playing minutes until his last year in Portland. So he didn't really get much opportunity to get the whole inside stuff going. I know he's not athletic, and I'm not saying it's going to be much better. I'm not saying that. Also, I'm not saying Gary's going to be an all-star. That's not my argument. My argument is he's a part of our future. You're comparing it to all-star players. You're comparing, but Bradley Beal was a superstar there for a little bit. Donovan Mitchell's been called a superstar. Zach LaVine's been called a superstar. I'm not calling Gary a superstar. I'm calling him part of our future. I want him to be the fourth guy on the team, fifth guy on the team, and he would be a good fifth guy on our team, I think. As far as true shooting goes, that's something that can be fixed, man. Donovan Mitchell has been the guy since he got to Utah. He's been able to work on all that. Gary hasn't had that chance yet. And when you're talking about his mid-range game and all this stuff, he is shooting. I lost it. He is shooting inside. He's shooting 58% inside, which is good for a guy who's not very athletic and without much burst. He's going to get better at that.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Elias. All right, and 1 minute rebuttal here for Sam. 3, 2, 1, fight.
If we agree that Gary Trent Jr. isn't an all-star, isn't a future all-star, then we can just look at his contract for a fact that I wouldn't want to keep him around as a fifth option with a skill set that is replicable for options that aren't paid as much. Right now he's making $16 million. Next year he's making $17 million. Then he's going to have a player option for $18.5 million, which if he improves, then he's going to decline. If he accepts it, then he's here for a year. Then he's a free agent. The Raptors are going to have to overspend to keep Gary Trent. And you just said he's a guy like Chris Duarte who's doing similar-ish things. Not as high a level, but you can have a guy like that. You can draft a guy. You can sign a guy for much cheaper to give you a much similar game and role in this team. If you're just a fifth starter, I'm not paying my fifth starter $20 million a year to keep him around if I don't think he has any type of all-star capability, and if he's only a one-dimensional player that is giving me only one thing, is only giving me value on one end of the floor and one very specific skill set. Like if you look at a guy like Tim Hardaway Jr., that contract is not looking very good, and that's a very similar player to Gary Trent Jr., and that's a guy I see Gary Trent.
All right.
Is that
so
it?
Closing statements. So we have closing statements for Elias. 3, 2, 1, fight.
I think paying your fifth starter $20 million is not something that is that crazy at this point in the NBA. And I think also you're saying that you can just sign someone else or draft someone else to play with him. I think you are kind of taking what Gary does a little for advantage. He makes some really tough shots, man, and he's had multiple 40-point games this year. Tim Hardaway Jr. is not doing that.
5 30-point games in a row.
Chris Duarte is not doing that. There's not guys you can draft that can do that at 23. That is not a common thing like you're making it out to be. Also, in your opening statement, you brought luck into it. I think saying a guy who has had 5 straight 30-point games and multiple 40-point games and saying that his tough shot making is luck, I think that's stepping over it a little bit. I don't think it's not much luck. He probably gets lucky bounce every now and then, like everyone does. Kawhi did, but I think bringing luck to it is not realistic.
All right. Okay. Interesting. So,
I'll get my closing statement.
oh yes, right. No, sorry.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. No, we're stopping it actually right now. I like what Elias said, so we're gonna.
It's a good end.
Yeah. All right. So closing statement for Sam. 3, 2, 1, fight.
To close, I will not think Gary Trent Jr. is part of this core because I don't think he's an upside of a guy who is realistically going to alter this team for the contract that he would receive in order to keep him. I also think I compared him to a guy like Toronto Jr. Toronto Jr. last year had a very similar year to Gary Trent Jr. this year, numbers-wise, and has had years when he was a young guy that looked like he would maybe become something much more, but he never became that. To add on to that, the shooting luck thing, luck was the wrong word. I say more like a hot streak shooting chance. His skill set doesn't allow him to create easy shots for himself that he can rely on game in, game out. That's why you see him get 41 game and then 12 on like 1 of 9 shooting from 3 the next. I just don't think that type of variability is what you want to have in a fifth option role. And also, if you're paying him $20 million, you're also considering the fact that Pascal's on a max, Scotty's on a max, Fred's on a massive deal, and OG will be getting a massive extension as well. And you just realistically can't afford that.
All right. And that's the end. Sam ended a couple seconds.
Yeah, I don't
before.
want to get wrung out there when you my last point. And good job.
Thank you for tuning into the debate portion of the RapChat podcast.
Do you really think it was that similar to Tim Hardaway's season, Sam?
His age, 20, his year before he got traded, it was quite similar.
Are you looking at that year?
Yeah.
I just I don't understand.
And even last year, it's quite similar.
At least for me, I have a big problem with the fact that the Raptors, as an organization, have never been the type to really spend a lot of time developing players and.
Sorry, yes.
Spend a lot of time developing players to just let them go, especially like Gary being how young he is. And just the upside potential that you have with a guy like that. I mean, I
mean, they let Norm Powell go, and
I know, but that's the thing is, I don't think we spent enough time. I don't think we really. I don't he didn't. I don't think we spent enough time developing him in the same way that we're developing Gary.
Here's my thing. I think it's really hard to retain 5 guys for a long period of time.
That's true. That's true.
So someone's going to realistically have to get the boot, and realistically, it's probably going to be Gary because it's not going to be Pascal, it's not going to be Fred, it's not going to be OG, it's not going to be Scotty.
Out of the guys that we've named in the core, while he is good, he has the most replaceable skill set.
I do totally agree with that.
That's true.
Like even Precious Achua, his intangible aspects.
And it's his defense, that's
right.
Yeah,
Precious Achua's athleticism is something that you just. That's crazy. That's so much more rare, right?
You have to hang on to that.
And so I think you can replicate, because in reality, when all these guys are at their peak form, I don't want Gary Trent Jr. taking time off the shot clock and taking a contested deep 2 when Scottiebarnes is a superstar and Pascal's an all-star and Fred's great.
But I don't think he's going to be doing that when they're
no, exactly though. But if that's the case, right? I'd rather just have a shooter in the corner.
Sure.
But also, when you brought up.
Hey, it's Tim Hardy's birthday today. Happy birthday, Tim.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Birthday to Tim.
30.
Like when you brought up the defense too, it's like when Fred's good getting older, dude, bet on Malachi, man. I'm not even kidding. No,
you got to be kidding. You're kidding, right?
No, seriously though. Malachi, I think has absolutely the potential to be able to replace Fred. I
don't know about that defense, man. Though Fred's defense is.
I gotta see a bigger sample. I
gotta see a bigger sample to bet on that.
We will see. His defense, last year, was totally fine.
It was fine.
And I think that the more than opportunities that he gets, the more he's gonna improve. And I think that as you start to phase Fred out and as he starts to age, you can start to phase Malachi in. And I think that's just the approach the Raptors have in general to the organization and the culture that they the cult that they have developed there. Bobby, that just made me think of Masai Bobby Webster and Nick Nurse in really long robes, just standing around in a dark room. Yeah. Pascal walks in, they're doing chanting and there's candles everywhere.
The thing is though, Malachi's only 4 years younger
Welcome
than Fred.
to the North.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Malachi's only 4 years younger than Fred.
So.
I mean,
so what?
I just think
2 years. 2 years.
Well.
2 years is a lot, man.
4
2
years.
years is a lot.
I just think no matter what.
I mean, just 2 years to see improvement and to get him up to speed in playing time in terms of replaceability.
My thing is, and I just saw a question was posed on Twitter. I forget who posted it, and it got people thinking, what's the most realistic way for the Raptors to meaningfully improve their surrounding pieces of their roster? A trade. Raptors don't
elaborate. What do you?
So say get real good supporting pieces
How to do it? How should we do it?
Yes, trade. You can't get
makes a trade.
because
And
who are they gonna?
we've seen our free agency.
There's two guys.
We don't go after the good bench pieces in free agency.
There's two guys I can realistically seeing of the top guys that will get you like big returns that'll help your.
This is where I think.
bench.
This is where I think
It's
Gary.
OG.
Yeah,
It's
this
OG
is,
and it's Gary.
yeah.
And if I'm picking between those two, I'm picking to keep OG.
Yeah, and this is fair because at the end of the day, if we do develop Gary into being, and this is maybe something that the Raptors do have as a part of maybe something that we haven't seen before, is developing Gary into a super threat that teams want, so that we can trade him for
a super threat.
well, yeah, well, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
to a high caliber
Yeah.
level threat, or all-star level player, and
What I wouldn't mind seeing next year is a starting lineup of Fred, OG, Scotty, Pascal, Precious, and then you bring Boucher back and you trade Gary for a bench.
But I don't know. I still think you need Gary for another year at least, but to really solidify a lot of his skill set.
But next year's his last year under contract.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
We have more value.
So you need to trade him.
Well,
you need to.
We'll see how it ends up going. But like, you can trade Gary if he does get those large improvements. You can trade Gary for some lesser bench pieces that will bolster the team in a way that is going to help us propel us into a championship, so we can put, instead of it's like sometimes less is more, right? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you trade away a very great skill set of what's very valuable in the league now for players that you just need to take up bench time, so that in a playoff series, you can play not just, instead of playing one guy, you've got 2 or 3 dudes on your bench now.
Perfect example of this is the Rudy Gay trade. Raptors traded Rudy Gay basically for a bench.
Yeah.
They traded him for Chuck Hayes, Patrick Patterson, John Simmons, and Grievous Vasquez, who were all bench pieces for the Raptors at one point or another.
If you're going to win a championship, big moves have to be made.
True.
The way we won is because we traded DeMar DeRozan, which seemed like wasn't going to happen.
No one wins championships with homegrown.
No, the Bucks did it, but they
traded for
Drew
Drew
Holiday,
Holiday,
which they traded 4 first-round picks
traded for Brook Lopez.
They traded for Brook Lopez.
You don't win
even
championships.
You look at the Suns now; they traded for Chris Paul.
Yeah, the only team to win a championship,
Pistons,
or the Warriors the first time,
and the Warriors first time.
But that's because they have some of the greatest players of all time,
Yeah.
which the Raptors don't have right now. So, I just think like someone's getting moved at some point. It's either OG or it's Gary, because their contracts are going to end, and you're not going to be able to retain both of them.
No.
And you don't want to. Last thing you want to do though is let Gary walk in free agency and get nothing for him.
Oh yeah,
or let
I'd much
OG
rather
walk,
trade
right,
him.
and get nothing for him.
Yeah.
So, and I don't
realistically, if he stays in this trajectory and gets his defense back, he's going to decline that player option. He's going to demand more money, and he will get more money.
And I think no matter what, he's
And
going to
we'll
decline the
play
player
from
option to get length of a deal.
Yeah.
You don't want to risk
Yeah.
getting hurt, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And OG's got a player option as well, I believe. He's going to decline that. I
Yeah.
think he's got 2 more years left though. Or maybe he's up at the same time.
One of LeBron's nicknames is the Little Emperor.
The little?
The Little
that's
Emperor.
weird.
I've never.
Who's the big emperor if he's a little emperor?
I saw one. I was looking at
Maybe it's Wilt.
I was looking at George Niang last night, and one of his nicknames is like he's called the minivan, and then he's called the closer.
Oh hell
That's
no!
kind of funny
Did
based
you
on
see
last
that?
night. Yeah.
There's a game. It was the Sixers and the Nuggets game a couple of days ago, and
Like,
and-
what?
Wilt's-
Come on, bro.
and George Niang took 2 shots at the buzzer to try and win.
One of them
George
was
Niang.
so
The
ill-advised.
floater was horrible.
Yeah.
Some of Wilt's nicknames. The load. And there's the load with the dunk.
Oh,
Big Musty.
Oh my god.
the big musty load.
Dippy and Dip.
What? That sounds like a duo nickname. Why is it?
No, Dippy's one and Dip's the other one.
Oh.
It's not Dippy and Dip,
Oh.
but Dippy's one, Dip's another one. God. All right, looking ahead.
Before we get out of here,
Yeah.
shout out to the Toronto Blue Jays. We're going all the way this year. Matt Chapman, Yusei Kikuchi, Kevin Gosman. We're going all the
Maybe
way.
the Jays chat in the summer.
Oh baby, 100-win season coming right now. Mark my words, 100-win season. World Series.
People.
Wow. Mark it down in your calendars, folks.
What is not even
Jays
make
over the
playoffs?
Mets in 6 in the World Series.
Okay.
You got my word right now.
Heard it here first, folks.
All right. Looking ahead.
We're playing the Clippers tonight, or yesterday when you listen to this. I think our defense has to be really good in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we still
Clippers
don't
are
know
really good
the status of those guys
Yeah.
as of now.
I just think our defense has to be really good. Tyler's a great coach. If our defense is not good, he will figure something out. And then we play the Lakers again on
Friday.
That Not much to say about that one. We'll see what happens.
We'll see
there.
what happens. I really
Yeah.
hope we beat them again.
think it might be
I hate the Lakers with a passion. I
think it might be a
burning
repeat.
passion. I hate them.
And we got March Madness starting.
And March
really,
Madness,
really,
yeah.
really starting tomorrow.
Hopefully everybody's made their brackets.
Yep.
You all got winning.
Zona, baby. Arizona.
Me too.
Arkansas.
Wildcats.
Arkansas.
Ben Matherin. Montreal.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Shout out.
All right, everybody. So we're gonna wrap it up there for today. So thank you guys so much. Hopefully, we're experimenting with this new setup here.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think. So before we head out of here, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, make sure to comment, and also subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating and also leave us a review. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at RapChat Podcast, where we post new clips of the show every single week. I'm your host, Luke Dick,
I'm Miles Eldridge.
And I'm Sam Kenny.
Yeah, you are.
and we'll see you guys on what? Next week.
Next week.
All right, peace out.
Peace.